Alright boys, good morning. This is British Dad 1974. If you don't know who I am, please do check out Absolute Dumpster Fire Volume 1 and Volume 2, or should I say Part 1, Part 2. Can't remember what I bloody call them. Alright, well, it's been a couple of hours. I've had a chance to wake up. The coffee's bloody helping. If you've watched the other videos, you know what's happening, and you know why I've not been sleeping. I mean, this is still ongoing. I don't think much is going to come of it, but it is still ongoing. So I'm not going to be using any names or anything like that. Again, like I said, you want to know who I am, please go watch those videos. You don't have to, they're long, and I know I ramble, so if you can't make it, I don't blame you, mate. Anyway, so I've come to thinking, I'd like to explain why I'm here. Originally, this is a good way to vent. It's a good way to help formulate my thoughts while they're so erratic because a lot's going on. And it's also a way to gain more information and spread some awareness that there are some glaring holes in the system that are actually putting children at risk and actually hurting fathers. Now, I don't want that to be all it is. I've come to thinking, I never intended this to start. This was, like I said, purely started because of what I'm going through and for what my children are going through. But I've always been a man of a belief that if I can help one single human being in my life, then my life is worthwhile. I believe we should all stick together, and I believe in friendship, and I believe in support. And I also believe that men do not get enough support. I think that people tend to admit, because we are required to be strong, men know what I mean by that, that we are not also emotional human beings, and that we deal with loss and frustration and all those other things in exactly the same way that women do. A man losing his children or being restricted from his children against his will, even though he's done absolutely nothing wrong, hurts a man. These are still his children. I have 4 boys, and to me they are my babies. No one's going to tell me otherwise. So anyway, like I said, never really knew what this was going to be, but I'd like to see what it can evolve into. So I would like this to be considered a group of friends that we can support each other. If there's anybody out there that has anything they're going through that just wants to talk about it and gain some support, we are all friends here. I want you to consider this the virtual equivalent of sitting around a table with a couple of beers and having a bullshit with your mates. A nice support group. I'm not going to limit this to men that are going through what I'm going through. Any man that needs support with anything they're going through. This is also intended for the children. Please do feel free to speak out if you're frustrated with the situation your father is and you disagree. This is support for you too. They are your father. That is daddy. And if you're unhappy, please do reach out and tell us why you're unhappy. This is also for the women who support these men and watch their partners get hurt and watch their partners go through the emotional trauma of what they go through, and they hurt themselves as they watch the people they love go through what they don't want them to go through. Now, what this is not, and I will not tolerate it, all comments will be removed, you will be barred, you will be banned, and I'll do everything in my power to make sure that you are just not here. This is not a place for bitter ex-wives to tell me that anything I say or anybody's comment is wrong. We will be respectful here. Man is entitled to his feelings. They're the same as anybody else. I want to dispel this myth that we don't have feelings. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. I am a human being. Men are human beings. And I would like to remind anybody listening that the suicide rate for men is significantly higher than it is for women. We go through a lot. We have emotions. We are human beings, and to think otherwise is absolutely ridiculous. Now, I don't need to, or should I say, I don't want this to also be anything negative. If you really just want to come here and bullshit and ask me stupid questions and we can have discussions about whatever the hell you want, feel free. Talk about your lightsaber collection for all I care. Actually, that'd be quite cool. I actually have one. Yes, I'm a nerd. Feel free to ask me any questions you want. And let's just be a support structure for each other. Let's bullshit a little bit and see what this turns into. So apart from that, have a great day. This is British Dad 1974. And signing off.